Hi everyone, thank you for watching us. Today we are having Andrian. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much, Malika, for having me. Appreciate that a lot.
Thanks. Yeah. Could you please introduce yourself in a couple of sentences?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Andrian, and I'm a co-founder of AAA platform. We're still thinking about the name. Maybe it's going to be AI agent platform. We're still thinking, but yeah. So AAA usually thing that helps you in everything, especially going to the road trip. And if we view our life, work, and any other thing where we heading on the adventure and our life is an adventure, I think we need AAA to be available to help us. So we need to have our AAA in our pocket, and this is why we have decided to build a launchpad that is, for now, it is called AAA Launchpad, that is helping you to, if you're an investor, to find good projects you may invest in. And if you're a project, it helps you to find investors, it helps you to find service providers, and yet last but not least, advisors, because there are a lot of great advisors who have a pretty great experience in anything related to Web3 and AI, and not necessarily they are from the field. They can be from like universities working on some data, etc. So they could be really useful to projects who are looking to get any kind of advisors, especially like in our case, this is Web3. So, yeah.
Yeah, thanks. And going a little bit like further to your background, to your personality, you studied at Stanford. You are a member of a Syndicate Ventures, right?
Yeah, so we created a Silicon Valley Syndicate Ventures. So before it was called Stanford Research Lab, before it was called like Palo Alto Research Lab. So we had different names, but yeah, regarding Stanford, even though in our syndicate we do have investors or founders or advisors who are from Stanford University directly, or not necessarily from Stanford University, but from Stanford itself. So we had the name that is related to Stanford. And we had an issue, not an issue, I would not say, we didn't have any problem or troubles. So that there was a little question that like, hey guys, please do not use the Stanford, because we are Stanford University, and we want so everyone to understand that Stanford is related to only Stanford University. And plus to that, there were a lot of people who were not only from Stanford, they were from different part of Bay Area, and like from different areas of Silicon Valley. And they were like, hey, we are okay not to be called Stanford because we don't live in Stanford. And so we decided to call our syndicate is Silicon Valley Syndicate Ventures. And yeah, so what we were doing is actually connecting investors with advisors, advisors and investors with founders, and advisors, investors and founders, they were connected to different service providers. And in our system, we have like more than 30,000 of them, I believe, or even more. And yeah, so because every day you're getting tired to have like 20 or 30 calls, it is getting really tiresome. So we have decided to just build a platform, basically AI Launchpad, where you can create your own twin, and you can basically teach your AI twin based on posts you like, based on information you leave in the platform itself about yourself. So basically you're creating and growing your AI twin. We used to call it like, when 20 years ago, so in 30 years ago, I don't even remember when it was, we used to have little Tamagotchi stuff we used to play. So basically this is what you're creating by yourself. And it's not just like for fun, it's going to help you. And these AI twins, they talk to each other, and only when they really need you, you're going to come to the call, or you're going to make some kind of decisions, of course, if you're an investor or if you are a founder. Because usually for founders, one of the main headaches of the founder is like, usually you need to have something around 1,000 calls to find the one call that you really need. And this is a lot of time. and time is the main asset that we have. And this is why we are helping people to save their time. So we're not saying that just like relax, go play Xbox, and we're gonna do everything for you. No, of course not. But the thing is that you're saving much more time that you could, and at the same time, since we see that AI agenda is growing pretty fast, it is a very important thing to have, and we see that there is a tool that we really can apply in today's agenda. Why not two? Because we do know the headache, and we basically need this solution by ourselves.
Mm-hmm. And thanks for explaining that. And what is your role exactly in?
So at this precise moment, I'm the guy who is building the vision of the platform, how it will be working. Well, we do have our tech guys. I do have my tech co-founder. I do have my communication co-founder. But my job right now is to make sure that the vision we are going to is the main one that's not going to be messing things up in the platform itself. And of course, we need to make sure that our users that we already have, because we have a lot of investors, founders, service providers, and advisors. We need to make sure that all of this will be, user friendly. This will be very easy to understand to our users, because of course, if you are a founder, you may know how things work, but if you are an investor, not necessarily, or if you are an advisor, like an old professor from any university, you don't necessarily know how things work. So we need to make sure that it's going to be simple, and at the same time we need to make sure it's going to be very professional for those people who know how the market works, who know how technology in this precise corner actually is developing. So it is kind of like complicated thing that you have to make sure that people who are not very techy meet up with those who are really techy, because they do have different backgrounds, yet all of their backgrounds is very useful and applicable in this field.
Yeah, thanks. And what about your competitors? Because I guess there are so many launchpads in the world, but how do you guys differentiate from them?
Yes, that there was like 2 years ago, there were a lot of launchpads that came to the market, and many people think that right now is not the time for launchpad, because, like we had this agenda 2 years ago. But I will be honest with you, we started with our own headache. We had our own headache. We were really tired of having a lot of calls all the time. So we were like, okay, we need to find a solution, and we started to implement AI into our system to see how it may help. After we noticed that it is saving more than 50% of our time, we're like, oh wow, that is a good thing to to share with people. So we started to work on that, and right now, yes, we do have only like I would say MVP that can be used by our users, but still we know that there are a lot of things to fix and to change and to improve. I'm not saying that there are not AI launchpads, but I'm saying that we started to just like getting a solution for ourselves, and later on we just have decided to share with our community. And at this moment we do have a big amount of investors and etc., as you already getting from this interview, who are happy to use this tool. So we have decided to create it for them, for ourselves, but to share with them. And I believe that today the direction we are looking at, where you can basically in the future not only to create your own AI twin, but you can actually do everything in the platform that is going to be allowing you even to build your own business. Like, I do not know solutions like that, and I'm happy if this kind of solution will be coming up, because it will be a sign that people need that more and more. But here in our Silicon Valley Syndicate Ventures, we do understand that our community really needs it, and this is why we're building it. But we do understand that in the future, it will be very important to communicate with your clients, with your investors, with your team, build your AI twin, and make sure that your AI twin is going in the right direction so you can basically adjust it to your needs. And what is more important, what we want to do is the marketplace for AI agents, because some AI agent, they can be more developed than the others, because just like you invested more in this AI agent, and that means that it will be more productive than the other one. And maybe later on we're going to be something like AI marketplace or something like that. But the thing is that if you have created your own AI twin, and it is well developed and it has its own success in implementation of whatever you do, that means that later on you can share your AI agent with any other guys who may going through the same path that you've been going like a couple years ago or like 6 months ago. And that means that you can make money by renting. Like today we rent Airbnbs, right? And why not to rent your AI twin who has enough information about the this or that topic, and you can make money on that. So because every time you work on your AI agent, on your AI twin, that means that you're investing your time, not only time, thoughts, ideas, and etc. And you sharing a lot of data with this AI agent, and that means that it's going to be the more upgraded one than the others. So you can make money with this AI agent rather than just like keeping it to yourself.
Yeah, and Andrian, could you please maybe explain what is AI agent for people that are like far away from AI and technology and just know about ChatGPT? Or maybe you can compare it with ChatGPT.
So the thing is that today's AI agent is it is very good to have an example of ChatGPT. If people know how to use it, you need to know how to use ChatGPT, because sometimes people use it as a surfing or search tool. Like, hey, where is this? Hey, where is that? But basically, AI agent is you can actually use ChatGPT as AI agent if you have servers and etc. So you can connect a ChatGPT to a server and to make sure that it will be doing what you ask it to do. Because here, what AI agent is different from basically AI is not only that you can talk and ask questions, is that you actually can make sure that AI agent is fulfilling the tasks you're asking to fulfill. You can create different kind of filter. Like if you need tickets to go from San Francisco to Hong Kong and you want to go exactly on Wednesdays, you want to go exactly on this period of time, you want to take especially this kind of seats, and you want to fly directly with this airline and make sure that you're going to be having this kind of meal on the plane. So this kind of tasks AI agents can do, and you do not have to do it by yourself. You just provide with the data you want them to go through, and basically saving your time. So it is absolutely possible for them to fulfill basic tasks. And the difference is that most of the people use ChatGPT as something that just you ask and receive an answer, and AI agent is something that can really fulfill the tasks that you're asking it to fulfill. Yeah, sometimes it depends, of course. You need to verify, double verify, and it depends. But most of the time, I'm using AI agent, not having issues, even though I had questions to the AI agent before.
Yeah, very interesting. And what happens when an AI agent creates something? Who owns it?
So if you're the creator of AI agent, if you're the one who created it, basically you own it. And of course, we may say that And not only we, like if you have been working with ChatGPT or Grok or etc., and you have some thoughts or info or data, they have access to it. I mean the company, so the people who work in that company, they do have access to it. And of course, all of the data that you input, it will be saved over there for a long time, I believe, unless some blackouts or something like that may happen. And yet, here in this case, in our AI agent platform, our users are interested to make sure that the data they're leaving is going to be saved in the memory of AI agent. So basically what is going on? I'm the founder. I created AI agent. I'm the investor. I have created AI agent. And they talk to each other regarding the interests they have set in the beginning when they created this AI twin AI agent. The interesting thing that usually the first call between investor and the founder is just like, okay, hi, what do you do? We saw some deck you sent us, or we haven't seen it, and just like briefly tell me what do you want, what is the amount of money you're looking for, and here is like my background as an investor. I invest in this kind of projects, and I'm not interested if you want me to invest in something that is not as field of my interest. Usually, after that, if there is a green light after the first meeting, they have another meeting. They talk about like what are the possible views, what is the agenda of the market on this specific topic, and what are the plans of the founders, and etc., etc., etc. And usually, like you need to have at least 5 calls if you want to get your investor to give you money. Usually it is like that, 3 to 5 calls, sure. But something may change on the 3rd call, something may change on the 2nd call, something may even, not move further after the 1st call. And usually you need to have a good pile of, investors, if you're a founder, to talk to. Same with investors. They have their own money. I don't want to lose money. If I'm an investor, I want to make sure that I'm investing in the right project, in the right founder, not having issues later. I want to make sure that my money will be doubled or tripled or etc., or at least like 1.5x. And it is very important to me to make sure that this founder is going through some kind of like verification, not only calls with me. So this is why it is very important to see if founders who are getting on our platform, getting advisors, because usually shitty advisor will not go and advise a bad company because they're using their name, they're participating in a project, and they do not want to, they not gonna be getting involved in the project if they have not went through the, at least figuring out what is the product is doing, what is the project is doing, what kind of product they build. And it is very important for investor to make sure that the team is solid. First of all, of course, we do the initial check. We're not allowing anyone to just sign in and create your AI twin, and this AI twin will mess things with our investor database, etc. But the thing is that we do have preliminary checks for sure, and it is much easier for people who got access to the system to work with the investors and service providers and advisors they're looking for, because we have all of them. I'm not saying that we're having all of them. I'm saying that we just have all the 4, types of 4 groups that we need to make sure that the project and investor will be happy. But this is what we have right now. Hopefully later we're gonna be, as I have already mentioned, working on AI Launchpad might become AI marketplace, because it is a very interesting thing that we started to think about lately. And right now our goal is to develop the next stage of our product and to deliver it to the bigger amount of users, to see how the market is going to be reacting, and to see what else we can add to the product so it can be really answering the needs of our users for 100%.
Yeah, thank you. Very interesting. And Andrian, you were a founder of different projects. I remember you working with a very interesting project, UBD Network.
Yeah, I was a part of it until we have decided to break up with my ex-partner. And yeah, I do not know how the project is failing or doing. Hopefully it's doing well, but the idea over there was to have opportunity to lock your funds and to basically create a will that if something happens to the owner of the funds, these funds can be transferred to another, to the kids, to the wife, fiance, whatever, parents, so friends. So these funds are not going to be lost because at that time, almost 4 years ago, we were working on the product and we actually managed to deliver the product that if something happens to you, you can just make sure that you input this scenario, and according to this scenario, the funds will be going from one wallet to another or from another wallet to another wallet. So you can, use as much wallets as you want. So they're going to be transferred every 30 to 60 days from the wallets that you have inputted into this scenario of the movements. So and the reason why we decided to do that was just because we saw that a lot of people losing their funds, just like some people may forget the access to the wallet, and other people unfortunately just graduate from this planet. And a lot of money just getting lost, and that was some kind of solution that we have decided to come up with. And I'm not related to that project anymore, but that was an interesting experience and an interesting idea that we have managed to work on.
Yeah, it makes so much sense. No, I was about to ask you another thing, what have you learned from the mistakes in your previous projects, and how do you use this experience now in the Launchpad, and maybe talking to investors, or some tips that you learned before in your previous
well, we not necessarily learn only from mistakes, I would say, but we learn also from success. Also, it also depends if you get one. So usually, if you have, as you mentioned, mistakes, to me and to many investors, it is not a sign that, I will not be working with this person or with this team, because of course, if you have one team and you have mistakes with that team over and over again, that definitely you need to change the team. Something is wrong with the team, maybe some karma or some curse, you do not know. But of course, I'm not saying that if something is going wrong with in the team, that the problem is the team. No, team has its key players, and if you are not a key player, maybe you need to change the key player, or if you are the key player, that something is wrong with you, maybe. And but getting back to my personal experience, so I had experience of building a marketplace that would allow people to build to buy different things for crypto, and it was great experience. We managed to raise 25 mils. We managed to make market cap at that time at least 10x from the amount of money we raised, and our investors got something like 5 to 7x. It was a successful success, and usually it's not something that you take into account, but it's still it was something like that. And at that time we were top 50 projects in CoinMarketCap. But turned out when we built the product that no one wants to buy t-shirts or anything for crypto, and that was such a bummer, because people invested money, and we were 100% sure. And the funny thing that we have decided to do that because people were saying that, wow, that would be so cool to buy things for crypto. And it was 2017 we started to work on that, and we delivered our project product in 2019. And yeah, it turned out that people just like not really happy to buy the t-shirts for Bitcoins or any other coins, because they're like, well, it might be growing. And I don't want to buy, like 5 years ago, you could buy a car for like 10 BTC. And today you can buy a car with 1 BTC. And everyone is like, no, we do not want to buy things with crypto, because like it is something that you want to keep for your future. And it is very important to really do a big, cost dev, customer development. It is very important to do that, because even though you see the hype around something, then you have to be coming things with a sober mind, and to understand that well, if there is a hype about something, what is the real economy, what is going on in there? Because at that point of 2017, it was a hype, and we were like following the hype. And of course, as any crypto project, like someone is making money, someone is losing money, and it was a bitter thing, that knowing that like the team, like the founders, then they lost a lot of money because of that, because we were believing in this project for 100%. But yeah, it was a great thing to go through, understanding that if you are in a business, you need to make sure that you're following the main important rules of building any business. It doesn't matter if you're in crypto, it doesn't matter if you are in real business. So I mean like Web3 and like reality, something that you can touch, yeah. And still you need to follow these kind of rules, and to understand that there will be a real usage. Well, at that time, in 2019, we had to shut down the project, and because like there were no reason. Well, the product is still somewhere on open source. You can get it. But the funny thing that 9 months later, we got OpenSea, and unfortunately, at that time, we didn't, have a vision that this marketplace can become a marketplace for NFT rather than for just t-shirts or whatever. So yeah, it is also depending on how you are ready to get out of the situation that you got in, because even though you build a product you might think no one's going to use, like in 6 to 8 months it turns out that someone needs this, just like with a different sauce. And yeah, so all the time you need to make sure that before starting developing something, before spending investors' money, if you're raising or your own money, if you just building product by your own, that it will be really useful, and you need to go through some process with some players who's going to be using your product. And even though it turns out that you build a product and no one is going to be using it, don't drop it. Wait, because you could be one of the OpenSea founders, which is a very good thing. So yeah, I have an experience of building some kind of marketplace. We have decided to, I have started to think that maybe, marketplace for AI agents could be also a good thing. And this is what we are focusing right now. And at this moment, we already have the product, yet MVP, though we have it. And we use it, and we have our community of users. So at that time, when like 70 years ago or 80 years ago, I was building that product, we didn't have that big community of people who would be using it. We were just like having promises of the community that, yeah, we need that, let's build that. And when like almost 200,000 people telling you that, yeah, build, because we're going to be using that, and then they just don't use it, it's not something that you should be leaning on. Like, you should lean on the group of people that really going to be using your product, and making sure that it is going to be, solving the problems they have right now. And over here, yeah, we have the community of people who are ready to use it, and when we have people, the team who already having a product. So it is a bit of different story, but all the time, make sure that if you build a product, make sure that you will have the application of the product. And in worst case scenario, don't drop the product until you see that there is something that might be coming out of that. because keep drilling, baby, like it's gonna come. So this is the thing, like if you have the product, well, look for the right application of the product.
Such a great advice. Yeah, thanks. Yep. And speaking about AI agents and overhyped projects, like, don't you think there are like a lot of noise around AI agents right now? And isn't it a hype?
Oh, it will be, because there is a lot of players on the market right now. Before that, it was just like OpenAI. Today, we do have companies from India, from China, from Europe, even though not the best solutions. But yeah, even in the United States, there are a lot of tools. So each country who wants to be part of the technology's agenda, they invest a lot of money in AI. And with AI, you need a lot of power grid. And so people invest in data centers and energy. So in my opinion, it is not just a hype if there is an infrastructure, if there is an ecosystem, because when you just creating some meme coin, well, it could be hype. Yeah, but there is no infrastructure, no real thing, no real economy under it. It's just a meme. And when there is something that is having a hype with the real ecosystem, with the real infrastructure, that not only just like small community investing, but a lot of institutional investors, a lot of governments, they do invest in at least data centers for AI. Well, that means that it is not overhyped for sure. With AI, things will be changing rapidly in our lives, and we know that because today you cannot. It is very hard to understand. Like either the person you're talking to is speaking your language, or it's an AI that is interpreting, or it is a deep fake, or it is not. And it is very easy to be misled by this. But I'm not going to talk about AI threats. No, not today. But yeah, the security in AI is a very important thing to be working on also. But we do know that this is a very, very big thing. And it is, it is not something that is, gonna jump off our TV or from our screens anytime soon, until we have some like real reasons of like, not having AI continuously developed like it is nowadays. But I do not believe that we're going to be having that in the nearest future. And I'm not some guy who's like giving some kind of prophecies, but things are much easier with AI. Yet we need to develop tools to control like how AI can be used. That's for sure, because it is better to have some kind of limits for AI rather than not to. It's like on the road, like if you do not have a speed limit and if you do not have any lights, then there will be problems. So it is very important to have some limits. I'm not saying that we need to limit it fully. No, of course not. But still, we need to make sure that AI is not impacting negatively our lives. And with our tool, with our AAA platform, AI Launchpad, for now, we do understand that it is more a help. It is more a hand rather than...
Yeah, thanks. And Andrian, you've worked... in Web3 like before a lot, and now you are in AI. Are you planning to like combine it again?
Well, as I have already mentioned, we might be thinking of building a marketplace for AI agents and implementing some kind of like tokenomics or like something like that will be a smart thing to do. At this moment, I'm not saying that not using ZK in this thing is, in my opinion, stupid. So we definitely going to be implementing ZK as a solution, as an extra solution for our users. Web3 is a great thing to be combined with AI. And since a lot of projects that coming to us from Web3, this is very smart to have AI with Web3. So this is what we're going to be building. Okay. And yet it is more AI at this moment, but we're going to be implementing Web3 too, which is going to be, the composition of Web3 and AI and ZK and something more. keep on working on that.
Awesome. Yeah. And I think my last question is, what excites you more about the future of AI agents and mixing AI and Web3, ZK, etc.?
So it really excites me that if you have invested a lot in your AI agent, if you have built one, you can monetize it, because basically this is your knowledge. Well, of course, it is a combined knowledge between you and AI, but the one who is smart here is definitely the user, because AI is just a tool. And if you need to lead the way. If you're going to be, trying to, not to be a leader in the convo between you and AI, then an AI will take you somewhere you don't even know. So you have to be very persistent in what you want to get from AI. And in my opinion, this is a combo of your thoughts and AI knowledges from the database it has. And it is really interesting how far you can go with it, with your thoughts and the unlimited knowledge. And the product of it, of this thoughts and the knowledge that is almost unlimited, can be very, very useful and important. And it can be that important that people might be able to buy it. And in my opinion, this is really great, because you can go through Wikipedia and read a lot over there and get some thoughts, but you cannot really communicate with Wikipedia. So here we have this Wikipedia that can be updated. Well, I'm not saying that we do not need to verify the information we get from AI. Of course, AI can be mistaken for sure. So you need to make sure that the things you're working on is basically are correct. So here, if we're talking about AI that is not making mistakes, like the basic history, basic thoughts, basic understanding and knowledge of the field you're working with your thoughts and combine, it can be a really great thing that can be sold. It is a very interesting thing about the legal rights, who's going to be the owner. And in my opinion, the owner should be the one who is creating things. It is like basically with the music, like thoughts, they are same, but not same. So in my opinion, this is really one of the most exciting things, that you do not need to know much about things, but it is enough to have some thoughts, have some direction you want to go in, and that AI can really be helpful in that. And it is really fascinating how different things you can build without knowledges that you don't even need. Because when we see, for example, some 17-year-old guy building a product called Cal AI, which is like calories AI. He's just like providing the front end and the back end of OpenAI ChatGPT, and people just sending pictures through the app saying like, hey, how many calories I do have it here? And they're paying like $17 a month. The guy who's like 17 or 19 years old is making something around 20 million a year. This is the entrepreneurship, this is the spirit of being an entrepreneur. And I believe that we're going to be having entrepreneurs coming with AI tools, and we're happy to build one of them. Nice.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Andrian, for this conversation. Wish you best of luck with your project. And
thank you so much, Malika. Appreciate your time, and hopefully it was useful to those who's going to be watching.
I'm sure it will be useful.